How are you doing today? I'm seeing a lot of YouTube videos over the last month or so from various YouTube folks that I follow, kind of critiquing different stimulus plans, using them as fodder to get views and interest. And it's kind of bothering me. So what I have been thinking about all day is if I were to wave a magic wand or if I could have a stimulus plan that I would support and get behind, I wanted to put that out into the universe. Let's have a discussion about a plan that really could help the American economy. And when I think of a stimulus plan, I think it has to have three phases or three parts. It has to be big and it has to be immediate. So let's just get the big one out of the room. I think it needs to be $1 trillion or $2 trillion, maybe $3 trillion, spending, investment, whatever you want to call it. But the most important aspects of a stimulus bill that I could get behind, that I could support, needs to have the following three phases. Step one, we need to help. We need to take the aspects of the first CARES Act and we need to extend to the folks that are most in need. What I would like to see extended in this new stimulus bill is the unemployment benefits that are currently the $600 kicker. I would like that to continue at $600 per week. I would like those to continue as long as we declare a national emergency. The unemployment numbers for the most at risk are horrific. We have now seen numbers where 40% of the American population who has income under $40,000 have been directly impacted by this. It is very clear that while states are opening and cities are opening, the jobs are not going to come back as fast as you and I hope for. I would like to see us continue this until the health emergency is behind us and until we can wave the wand and say the national emergency is over. I hope that is sooner rather than later. I think we just need to continue with this. And I want to take the date off. In the first CARES Act, I believe it is listed as the end of July when that $600 kicker goes away. I don't want any future stimulus talking about an end date because we just don't know. The only thing that we can rely on together is this a national emergency or not? When the federal government comes out and says this is no longer a national emergency, the $600 kicker goes away within 30 days. I think that is fair. I think we continue to help the most at risk. I do not want to see us send out $1,200 willy-nilly to everyone that makes under X amount of money. If you believe the unemployment numbers that reported last week, we have roughly 85% of Americans working. I do not believe that number in the slightest. Let's say 30% unemployment is real. That still means 70% of the American population is working. And once we bottom out, it will get better incrementally. So again, I don't know what it would cost. I'm estimating $500 billion. Let's have the $600 kicker per week extended until this is no longer a national emergency. That's step one. Step two, we need to protect. Something that is very obvious when you look across the world about is you need to protect the most at risk. Unfortunately, that means some folks need to stay home. But here's the deal. Most folks don't. That's what we're getting wrong with this stay-at-home order. Everybody is the same. You're taught not to, if you're a grandchild, not to bring it home to grandma or grandpa. I get it. That is real. I would like to see us set up a way so that we can protect the most at risk. And most importantly, make it voluntary. I live in America, nothing is forced. If you are most at risk, I would like to see us set up relationships with hotels that say, hey, you can have a room here until this is no longer a national emergency. If you accept that room, you are going to have to accept the rules because we have to control visiting hours and who can visit and things of that nature. Because not only you are at risk, but every other hotel member is at risk. And again, this is voluntary and only for our most at risk. I believe this is something we can do. I think if we remove or move or quarantine or whatever words you want to use, the most at risk to a set location that is then quarantined, protected, cordoned off, whatever you want, that will be helpful. Again, I don't know what that would cost, but I'm estimating a quarter or $250 billion. Again, this is 100% voluntary. If you want to stay home, this is America. You can do whatever you would like as long as you're willing to suffer the consequences. So that is number 2. Number 3, what I am looking for is grow. We need to set some kindling, like get some gasoline and go after this thing. We need to get the unemployment number down. We need to set America on a path to better infrastructure. We need to get after it as a country. We are falling behind other countries from an infrastructure perspective, whether it's high-speed rail or whatever it happens to be. I believe if we had an infrastructure bill that's over $1 trillion by itself, we would help unemployment dramatically. We would get the currency flowing again in our consumer-based economy, and we would have something that we are very proud of very quickly. So in the end, I think a stimulus plan that does 3 things is warranted. Again, we must help. This is not the time to look down on someone, to do this or do that. That is petty and unhelpful. If you need help, if you're unemployed, let's help them. I do not believe everybody needs a check. If you are employed and you can get by without it, great. We do not need to add more money to the debt that our children will be asked to pay for. Number 2, we need to have a coordinated approach to protect. Right now, everybody's the same, and that's a mistake in my opinion. We've got to get this consumer-based economy going again. Got to protect people, absolutely. All life is precious and all of that. So let's create the infrastructure to protect the most at risk. And again, because this is America, it is voluntary. You don't have to go. There will be rules if you get there that you will be clearly outlined before you say yes. But if you are at risk and you are scared, we are going to take care of you for the length of this health scare. And then finally, we need to grow. We need to grow. We need to set infrastructure. We need to bring the supply chain home. We need to incent manufacturers to make stuff here. We need to declare PPPs or whatever they are, protective gear, medicine made in America. Yes, it will be expensive, more expensive. Yes, it will cause inflation in the future. But if we do not grow our way out of this country, we are going to be in trouble. So this is what, again, I think it's a couple of $1 trillion. I think we need to help those that most need it. I'm estimating $500 billion. We need to protect, create a plan to offer up protection. And then boy, oh boy, let's get growing. Let's find stuff to make here. Let's bring infrastructure home. Let's get high-speed rail going. And I think we can get this behind us and we will grow together. So that's my stimulus bill. That's something I like. That's something that I think is good. All these pork belly bills and left and right and blue and red. And let's create the American plan. And to me, that's help, protect, and grow. That's what I got. I would love to hear from you. What do you think? Is there anything missing? I'm sure there is. Breaking news, that's a stimulus bill that I can get behind. So again, love to hear your thoughts. Take care.